Yeah, I think it's the preparation for it, because it's just like, again, the first time I done Red Bull the World Final, I didn't know what I was walking into, so I wasn't fully prepared for the small interview time I had,
Yeah,
for the Russian, the this, the that.
yeah.
5 years later, bro, I'm there like, yo, we need to go upstairs now. Like, or they need to be here now. We need to do that now. Like, I know, like, this is the time. And no matter what anyone tells me, sometimes people are like, oh, don't worry, be okay. I'm like, if we don't do this now, we're not going to get it done.
True, true.
We're not going to get it done. And they go, what? I'm like, trust me, we don't have the time. And they're like, nah, don't worry. And then afterwards, they come to me, they go, Manny, you got 2 minutes. I said, I told you.
Hmm.
We should have done this 10 minutes ago. I knew they were going to rush them out because I've done this before. And so I think that's the thing with commentating. No one, that I will put hands down, I will bet my earnings for this month. No commentators sit down after it's over, write out a feedback, go back to the people that were commentating and go, next time, can we try
Oh, I
this,
would
and
love
that?
that. I would love that to have
But
because
that's where it should be. That's what broadcast journalism is. That's the whole point. And I think, like I said, if we're going to do it with breaking, so I'm saying we should make a universal breaking language. So I think a universal breaking language, yes, but because it's worldwide, I just think it'll be hard. You know what I mean? I don't know what Pulitzer means.
patsa. It's just a funny word I use, patsa. It's just like a crash. It's a different word for like messing up, you know? So,
Okay, is it German?
yeah, it's German because I was trying to keep it German as well sometimes, you know, not just always
But
fully
have you ever,
German.
you know what you should do, or maybe we both do it, doesn't matter.
Yeah, let's do it.
Video, like explaining what happens with the commentating and how much time you have and blah 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 blah. You know what I mean? Like, because I'm a big fan of briefing people,
Yeah, yeah,
because I have to do it in my job and stuff like that. You know, people should get briefed, but also like, what, know what you're working. Like, you got to know what you're walking into, and also know like the general things that people say. Like I said, the only issue I have with commentating is everyone says the same stuff. Like, I, before we done this, I was like, let me watch some past breaking battles just to make sure I'm looking at,
of
I'm
course, yeah,
phoned up.
me
And
as well.
everyone says the same stuff. They all say great execution. Oh, look at them coming out. Oh, I wonder who's gonna start. Blah, blah. And like literally, it's the same phrases.
Hmm.
The same phrases. And I'm like, because no one's preparing how to talk when they're on the mic. Like, but it's broadcast journalism, and the one thing a broadcast journalist has to do is prepare what they're going to say before they're going to say it, because you're not just going to go there and be like, okay, I'll just say whatever when this happens. It's like, well, that's cool, but you don't do that with your breaking rounds.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? You don't do that with anything else in life, but you're going to be live on a broadcast for maybe 2 to 6 hours,
yeah.
and you haven't prepared. Because if you prepared it, you might go, shit, I've just realized I'm saying the same thing over and over again.
Yeah, that's what
I
I
need to
that's
mix this up.
that's what
Or,
I
or
realized commentating the first time alone by my own on
yeah,
2020. I felt like I was doing so that's why the next day I came prepared with some cards. I had it in front of my desk laying
yeah.
over there. You know, I had some kind of words to use. But then also for breaking, I'm not sure because if you watch golf, it's kind of calm. You know, the commentary is kind of calm and they know how to use the voice and it's like, oh, that's a
Yeah,
great
this is
shot.
what we
You
need
know,
to talk about.
so
Yeah,
there's also like a commentating how we want to do it like energy wise. You know, because I'm super hyped up, and of course I'm not having the lowest voice, so Red Child would like
yeah.
be maybe more calm than I and have like a deeper voice or whatever. But I have like a more higher voice, or whatever, and so my energy is already different. So even that's a thing that we have to consider for breaking up here because that makes it possible to translate. That's like the voice actor now, to translate the energy through the microphone to the audience, you know. So that's what makes it interesting too, because I have seen some commentary as well where it's kind of dry, you know. It's like I mean I get it, it's 6 hours of commentating or whatever you do, but it has to be like wake them up. The people watch it also
Bro,
for like 6 hours.
MMA is the same. A main event is free. In MMA, they have, in the big events, they have the early prelim, which is like
Hmm.
2 to 3 fights. Then they have the prelim, which is anything from 4 to 6 fights. Then they have the main event, which is again about 4 or 5 fights. The main event's 3 hours. The two
Yeah,
prelims before that are an hour to 2 hours, so hour and a half. And yes, they have breaks, but it's kind of like, it's like, yo, it's a lot if you're not used to it. I get it, because I've never done it, so I'm not
of
going to
course.
be like, oh, this is easy.
No, no.
But if you know you're walking into it, If you know you're having to do that, because if you know you're going to be sitting there, this is why you prepare. This is why you go, oh, shit, I got 6 hours. Ooh, that's a lot. Okay, let's prepare
Yeah.
for this. Do you know what I mean? But again, I just think the biggest issue is, which is why we're having this talk, and why I always talk about it online, and it needs to get put out, is we need to translate this to the public. It's always going to be through media. It's going to be through commentating, through journalism, through video content.
Hmm.
It's going to be through that, because that's how everything gets translated. It's the question people have to ask themselves: do you take commentating serious?
Yeah,
Like,
I
it's a
do.
genuine. Do you take? And if someone goes to me, yeah, I take it serious. I'm like, cool. What's your script? What's your usual go tos? How do you translate? If you're watching a breaking battle, how would you tell someone what a six step is? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And straight, how would you tell someone what baby freeze is? What a 90 is? And they might go, well, I'm just gonna call it, but how are you going to explain this? You know? Because if you can't explain it,
Yeah, yeah, I'm reading the same thing right now.
yeah. And NoIndex, one of the reasons why I wrote the book Judge and Break It was to let people know all about these topics to look at and to learn how to describe.
Yeah, of
Exactly, you
course.
know?
Yeah, yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
like, and here's the thing, as Storm's saying, I've got, and this is why I talk about this, and why I know I can talk about this, and anyone who wants to test me, come test me. I've got to do that in words, because after BC1, we have to write a write up on the last chance cipher and what happened. Have to do a write up on the what happened in the battles. Like, you write it up. So if I'm
Yeah.
talking about 90s and this and that, it has to be something I have to explain it in a way. So I had to learn over the years, how am I going to describe this move, or am I going to say 1990? And I
Yeah,
might
yeah.
say 1990, but I might say, yo, he hit the 1990 on beat, and then I'll put in brackets the move where he's spinning upside down on one hand.
That's true.
And
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
put that in brackets, because I'm realizing, like, yo, people don't know what 90 is. If I just say 90, it's not going to work. So over the years, it's always about explaining breaking to people who don't know what breaking is. When I look at the commentating and breaking now, if you're not a breaker, it doesn't help you. Like, it just doesn't.
Yeah,
You
yeah, yeah.
know?
It's true.
And it doesn't. And like you said, the exciting part is not exciting, though. We need to talk about that. This is my game. I don't know why commentators aren't excited.
Yeah, you have to be a fan. Like, first of all, you have to be a fan. Well, like, you have to have the knowledge, and then you should be a fan. But then also, this what Storm writes seems super interesting. Book will be published in about 6 months. Available on Amazon and Swift Road. That's the homie.
Shout
uh,
out Storm, go get his book on Amazon
cool.
in 6 months,
But
all
yeah,
about
like,
breaking.
what we just see right now also with
Put
the
the
what's the
link if you got
Instagram?
it, Storm.
What's
If
the
if you
Instagram?
already got a link and they can pre-order.
What's the other Instagram channel where they explain the trivium? That's already like I think that's what Storm's talking about already, right? So
But
using
that's different. I will say, not different, but the judging part and the commentating part, because the
I
trivium's
know,
so detailed, you're not going to be.
of
That's
course, but this is the language we have to adapt for the future if we want to
wait,
be
wait, wait, wait,
mainstream.
wait. No, 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 no. Okay, now wait.
No, no,
Before
no.
we go there,
Maybe I mispronounced. No, be able to clarify because a lot of b-boys, no offense, but some of the most amazing b-boys, you ask them
yeah.
questions and you just get like like there's a balloon drying out at the same time. I don't know. It's like, yeah, I won. It was great. But then you ask like a Lewis Hamilton why he did like 18th place and he had like 2 minutes for you to talk. So we have to be, I think
I
breakers have
think
to.
I'm like 50-50. Two reasons. That's not just b-boys, because you're talking about Lewis Hamilton. You're talking about Lewis Hamilton.
Yeah, but in a
If
sport
you
way.
listen to most athletes, they don't give good interviews, bro. They don't give the reason why they did this and that. They're terrible at it. But then if you listen to an athlete that's a world champion that's been doing it for years, of course they do. That's part of their charisma. They've got a publicist, they've got an agent, they've got people that prep them for those interviews. But again, go watch UFC, go watch the new fighters when they get interviewed. They're like, it was a great interview, it was a great fight. I
Of
really
course. But all
And
those
breakers are the
champs,
same, but
all
we're
those
not.
champs,
This is the thing. Breakers are not used to that. We're not professionals yet. No matter what anyone says, we're not there. And because they're not used to it, no one's prepped them. And
that's
because
what
no one's prepped them, of course they're not going to say these things.
that's why
Which is
Storm is
why
why Storm
all
is writing
breakers
this.
should learn to explain what they actually do. Who do you guys know that can eloquently explain their own style?
Exactly.
Again,
That's what I'm
all right.
saying.
No, to answer this question, this is why. And if you watch it, and again, I can say this, it's not on the breaker. It's on the interviewer.
Yeah, okay.
If I'm asking you to explain your style, I need to have the right questions. And again, I've learned this over the years from asking breakers questions. There's breakers, I've asked certain questions, I get dead answers. And then I've got, oh, that question was the wrong one. I ask another question, and then they say to me, oh, no one's ever asked me that before. And then they start thinking, and then they go, oh, yeah, why do I do this, this, and that? So I think it's not on the breaker, it's on the interviewer. And the only reason I say this is because the whole point of an athlete is to be an athlete. They're not supposed to be able to explain what they do. They're supposed to win.
It's true. Well, we talk about commentary right now, and that's what I'm saying. We have to find those people who are able enough to translate it, or not translate it, but explain it. What Sean's
Exactly.
suggesting, you know?
And it's
So
like, this is the thing. So they have to be journalists. This is journalism you're talking about. It's called broadcast journalism. That's what commentating is. And this is the thing. So do you want to be a broadcast journalist, or do you just want to accept something? Because going back to actually what you said about the judging,
mhm.
the only reason I'm 50-50 is watch a sport and tell me if they tell you how it's judged fully. They'll tell you
Oh yeah,
some. I'll be honest. I'm not going to go they don't. But they don't go deep into the judging. The gymnastics don't tell you how many points each moves get and blah, blah, blah. They just tell you the move. They just tell you the move. So what they do is they understand all these moves are they understand the terms that they need to pick out and use. So I think you need to go over it and you need to pick out the right terms that you need to use. But in the end, we're not there to judge. That's for
yeah.
the judging. So if we start explaining the judging as commentators, and if we get it wrong, we're now the judges. And that's why I don't think judges should explain. I mean, commentators should explain how it's judged. They should explain what's happening. It's what's happening. Because in the end, the judges are there to be judges. And that's what makes, even in sport, judging. That's why we say in breaking, the judges are revered too much. They are. They shouldn't be doing showcases. They shouldn't be
Yeah.
being put on platforms. We shouldn't even technically be saying who's judging anymore, but we still do. This all needs to go. We should say their name, and maybe, but before an event, especially WDSF, why are we saying who's judging? Do they do that for gymnastics or skateboarding? No, they don't. So why are we saying who's judging a WDSF event? Just put their list of names. There we go. But if we start to jump into that and go, we're going to explain, now it turns into that. That should be that thing. Commentators are here to explain the sport.
Yeah. But for now, the judges solo was a great opportunity to explain a little bit about the dance before the competitors went on stage.
That
And
might be actually. I like that idea though. That's but talk to Kevin. They're like no, but technically, I think it's something to do with the rule book. But actually, what you just said there is a good example of maybe explaining it through the judges solo, even
yeah,
though we don't believe in judges solos anymore.
we were able to do that last year. So because they had a judge case before the performances, and then me and my partner, we could just, use that little bit of judge cases to already trying to explain the dance. Because
Really translate what
often,
the body language actually
yeah,
means. Yeah, but also that's a good thing that you just said there, because that's also another thing why technically you can't do the judging thing, because not everything uses the system. Red Bull BC1 doesn't use the
of course,
trivium.
yeah, it's just shields. Yeah.
Unbreakable does. No, Unbreakable does now. So and Disputed does. But then you've got the two different ones, the full blown one, and then the different faders, three faders, one fader, five
Mhm.
faders. So you're getting into a lot, which is why I think we can't do that.
Not as
We can't.
commentators, yeah.
It's too much. You're not commentating anymore. You're explaining the system. It's like this. That's why they got the website. Go on the website, look at the system. If you care that much, and the bottom line is the general public don't care. Most breakers don't care. Now, much as they say I care, no, you don't care because you haven't read it. You don't care. You just want to break. The
You just want to
general
dance.
public definitely don't care. I don't care when I watch gymnastics how much a move is scored. I don't care. I just want to see gymnastics, bro. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So no one on the general public is going to tune in to hear us explain that. They want to tune in to hear you excitedly
Yeah.
tell stories about breaking.
Yeah, but like as I said, we have to find a way. That's why I ask Red Bull every year how they want to have it, if it's informational, educational, or like entertainment, because I could just really forget about explaining everything and just vibe with my partner in front of the mic and just
But
let
how
them
would you do it?
speak.
But how would you ideally do it?
For the moment, before the Olympics and before it's huge, I would still try to make it educational because I know there's not a lot of people watching it. And if I have the chance to reach someone who understands it better after watching a whole Red Bull BC1 live stream, I will do it. anyways, all the time, because I know like the breakers will put off the mic, put off the commentary. I know they're gonna do it. So
Because of the music thing. I mean, we're all agreed on that. No one can. I don't care what anyone says. No one. You know, have you seen the Dance Your Style viral clips going? The two clips from Dance Your Style have gone viral. The
recently,
one
yeah,
to
yeah, in
Say My
general,
Name
yeah, yeah, yeah,
and the one to I'm Coming Out.
yeah.
Now take those two clips and put people talking over it. Those clips don't go viral anymore
That is
because
very
you
true.
can't hear the music. And it's crazy because we want the public to watch breaking, right? Those two clips go viral. Why did they go viral? Because of the music.
And the vibe and the people getting crazy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But take out the mix because this is the crazy thing. The clip of Say My Name, right? Both dancers had killer rounds, right? If you watch the whole battle, the next round the track changes to some pop track. I think like it's not a R&B, it's not a black music track. So the energy goes down.
Yeah.
It's not the same. That track made those rounds because it's Destiny's Child. They both know it's R&B. It's got that beat to it. So you look at that and you're like, well, you've got you had a movie stars sharing those clips.
Yeah, yeah,
Movie
yeah.
star. So I'm like, I look at this and I'm like, yo, guys, the formula's right there. Get a killer track, put dancers to it who can kill it, have them kill it. It's gonna go viral. The Danny Dan beat hit, bruv, that beat hit. When you watch it, you're kind of like, it was so simple, but it was so dope.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And that clip went fucking blew up. It blew up. So it's like, but then you go, you want to put someone talking over the music, so now we can't hear the music, so now the clip don't go viral, so now no one's watching. It's bananas that that no one seems to understand that the magic of breaking is the music. This is the magic of any dance. It's the music.
Yeah.
Or else we're dancing to silence. Forget it. Just show some moves. Show me your routine like gymnastics. Even though they got music as well for the floor routine.
Yeah, but you can
You
still
see,
talk over it. So yeah, that's the.
and it's like, but here's one thing I wanted to ask you as well about that. Do commentators talk about the music?
Oh yeah, I get a feeling from the music. I was like, oh, that's such a nice beat before before one of them enters. So I
Yeah.
use some
But here's
bias.
the other thing. But this is putting you on the spot. Because
Yeah, okay,
when you
do it,
do,
whatever.
you can't do this at a Red Bull event, I'll be honest. So you're kind of exempt. Have you ever heard commentators hear a beat and educate the people on what song that is and why they should fucking
Oh,
know it?
James Brown or something. If a James Brown tune would come on.
But have you heard anyone do it? Like, okay, Just Begun comes on and the
Oh,
commentator
okay.
like, yo, this is one of our classic
Yeah,
tracks.
that's what I hear.
Listen
Yeah.
out. This is something that made the dance. If you're listening right now, this is Just Begun by, is it Babe, Just Begun, Babe Ruth? Babe
Yeah,
Ruth.
Jimmy Castellange.
Yeah, that's a Jimmy Castor. Babe Ruth was, oh no, Babe Ruth is the other track. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, Jimmy Castor. Go
Mexican.
out, download it. If you want to know about breaking, you should have this in your playlist on Spotify. Matter of fact, there's a Spotify playlist. You can go and look up all these classic tracks.
Yeah, yeah. No, normally I hear like that's a classic. Ooh, such a classic.
But do
And then
you
it goes.
educate? That's the question. Do you educate?
I would, because I know a lot of breaks. I love them.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe I would. I don't know if I would promote a Spotify playlist because I don't even actually know the playlist like this exists. But
Nah, I mean that's
yeah,
just me
yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay.
chatting shit, bro.
No, that makes sense. That makes sense.
But you see what I mean? The one thing that I think there's like gaps. We don't talk about the music enough. Like we really don't.
Yeah.
You know? Even Red Bull, to be honest, talking about that it's produced music.
No, that's what I do every time.
Okay,
Because I know that
cool.
they're specifically produce just music from Rebel actually on the stage. So
Yeah.
because that's what's so good about Dance Your Style because they could use a Destiny's Child, and of course it had such a big bonus because of Destiny's Child. It's
They're the
Beyonce's
same
voice, you
event
know.
though. They're like
But it's
looking
different.
sideways, but they're both done by the same company.
I know, but they're different. I don't know. I don't know how they do it. It's some Rebel
Now I know
internal
why.
stuff,
Yeah, it's
but
money in it. We know it's money, and so.
yeah, of course
But
it's a lot of money.
it's well, to be honest, no one knows because no one's looked it up. And people say it's a lot of money. I don't know until you look it up. You don't know. This is the point someone made. Skateboarding at the Youth Olympics was playing Wu-Tang.
Oh yeah, true. I saw that clip. Yeah,
So when people say this is the thing I don't do. I don't say stuff that I haven't researched or no one's given me research for. So when everyone's like, "Oh, it's too much money," I'm like, "How do you know?" And usually most people are just repeating what they've heard. But I can tell you now that for the European Games, I don't know how much it was, but they had to get the music cleared in Manchester. They
Yeah,
had to get all the music cleared, and it got cleared.
that was a good
And it was
addition.
during the kerfuffle of it, so I didn't ask. Actually, I'm going to ask because I know who cleared it.
Yeah.
But the music got cleared. So then you're like, is it that maybe it's a lot of money? So that's why I say I don't know. Maybe it's a lot of money, or maybe it's just too much hassle to clear it.
Oh yeah, maybe. I mean, yeah,
Maybe it's to do with just, or maybe because a good thing is that if you have your own catalog of music
of
and
course,
people
yeah.
start playing that,
It's your brand
that
on it
promotes
too.
you.
Yeah, of
That
course. Yeah, yeah.
promotes your company. Like, yo, that's what music is, right? I make an album. You want to play it, you give me money.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
That's the whole point. So if you have your own catalog of music, now you have a chance to promote your company and to get some revenue. So maybe it's that.
It's a
This is
smart
me
move, yeah.
speculating. I've
It's a
never
smart
asked.
move.
I will ask though. I'm gonna ask some people. But
That's a smart move, yeah.
but yeah, you know. Let me see if
Yeah.
there's some. Who's gonna
Some
over music?
questions?
Yeah,
Any
I
AK
think we went
question
over all
mark?
that guy's questions.
No, you got some questions, right? You received some questions. I think already
I
we
did,
talked about some people. And then
but I
also
think
like Silverback was so interesting because it was a 3-on-3. And I think the European Championships, was there even like commentary? I don't think so because they had crew battles, remember? In Russia, WDSF event in
yeah, there
Russia.
wasn't any commentary on Russia.
There was no commentary, yeah.
But actually, you're right because firstly, let's shout out. Go back, watch Silverback Open. I think it was 2016,
2018 as well.
2000. But which one was the one with Profo that you said?
2018.
So
2018?
2018, the one where logistics won. Anyone online now, go back and watch that because the way they done commentating there is
Yeah,
they had the commentators on a table. They had four of them. They had two B boys and two B girls as well. So then I think the B girls were interviewing the B girls afterwards. The B boys were interviewing the B boys, and they would cut to them. They would talk you through stuff. Then they would cut to the battle, and then they would talk up until the battle started. And as soon as the
exactly.
battle
Yeah.
started, they would stop
They
talking. They would
stopped.
let the
Yeah.
music play. Ivan was the host, you'd hear him. When it was over, they'd start talking again. And it was perfect.
That was a
Anyone
good
who
one.
says that cannot be done, go back and watch Silverback Open 2018 when Logistics won it. And you will see that it
Yeah.
can be done. And anyone who says that you can't do it because of time wise, yes, you can. Because in the end, you understand your breaks. The commentators, as a commentator, they'll just be telling you, sorry, you've only got 2 minutes. But then that's what you've got. But
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
can
Yeah.
still do it because you
Preparation.
do have time. It's
Preparation.
perfect, bro.
Even though I could imagine that Silverback was more freestyle because between the battles, like it's a different time when like of course Red Bull is very structured, but if it's Silverback 3-on-3 and one guy is missing, they just have to, spontaneously be able to talk more about whatever happened, and there's always room for that, and it's
But here's the
always
thing.
possible.
Red Bull is more structured for you because you were part of the commentating. You have no idea if Silverback had that. Because
Oh
you
yeah,
think that because you're watching it, but you have no idea if they had the structure.
yeah, but I don't like really I wasn't there. It's true, but I don't believe they had their crews or whatever. I just thought I felt like it was more like a jam, you know?
No, but in the end, the jam was, but we don't know about the commentators because the commentators
Oh,
were
okay, that's
there,
insane.
so we don't know if they got given a time thing. And that's what I
Mm.
mean. And Silverback was 6 hours. So if you take out the 3-on-3, it would have been the same amount of time as Red Bull.
Hmm.
Because that's another thing you got to realize. You take that out, and then you go, how long was Red Bull? Red Bull was 3 hours, bro. So it was half the time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So you see, so this is what I mean. So this is the reason why I say these things is because a lot of the times we go, yeah, but this, that, and I'm like, yo,
It
do
just
the
felt
math. It's
it
the
just
same
felt
stuff.
that way. Yeah, yeah. I mean, you have to ask Pro for whatever, but it just felt that way.
9290, what was that? It was perfect for commentating. What's the 9290? I don't know what that is.
Oh yeah, it was. I remember I was with Gilu in Hungary, and they had
Yeah.
this bigger had to go on first, boom, 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 and they had 90
Okay.
seconds to wait, and then they had the
Oh
gambit
yes.
to four rounds. That
Yeah.
was cool. That's true. That's really nice to be able to commentate in between because nothing is happening. I mean, I've seen it live. Even for spectators, it's kind of like weird to see this both dancers stand there and
Yeah, that's a bit weird though. That's the
you
only
know.
thing. I get it because I think it works after 2 rounds when they make them switch who starts because they've
Yeah,
done
yeah.
that after a while.
That's the 90
I think
seconds.
for one round it's a bit weird.
No,
It's a
it's
bit.
1-1. It's 2 rounds each, and then 90 seconds
Okay.
break, and that's the perfect time for Dortmund to
Oh
get
yes,
into the
yes, yes. Then I
commentary.
think, yeah, I think that, yeah, I think that
Yeah,
because they done that in Alabama as well, right? I
I
think
think
they done
so.
that in Alabama.
I haven't. Yo, I think yeah, they had breaks. I haven't watched the commentary yet. Or I think actually nothing from the jammer, but
Yeah, yeah. I think now. I think that Storm says no. That one, yeah, Storm. I get you. Yeah, I think
yeah,
that
yeah.
works. I think that works.
292. 292
You
is the
know.
wording for that. Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
it's like yeah. But these are the things that like put it this way, and I'm gonna do it because I'll do it anyway, and I'm into like pushing breaking as a medium. Yeah. And if you hear me commentating one day and I start talking about execution and all the stuff I said you shouldn't, you can cuss me online for it. I say it now. But it's like there needs to be an active push to change these things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because right now it's like it's just like yo, and people say, "Oh, but breaking's new." I'm like, breaking's new to sport, but sport isn't new.
Hmm. Yeah.
Sport has been going for years. You know, and I think the main thing we have to acknowledge is breaking isn't like any other sport. Like it's just not. And there's certain aspects where we're trying to be like other sports. And I'm like, that doesn't work for breaking because it's just like, I was trying to think about it. What sport do you know that really, really is to say like breaking? There just isn't. Don't think there isn't.
I haven't checked ice skating yet because they use music too, but I could probably imagine that they talk over the music, but I haven't checked it yet. So
But I mean, like time. I mean, like like when gameplay wise, let's
oh,
say
okay.
when people are battling, that's the game. That's now the game's in session. We're in play.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
nothing else that is like. There's nothing else where you have two people going against each other, standing on opposite sides of a stage, and you go, I go, you go, I go. Because in fighting, we go at the same time and we try kill. They try kill each other.
Mm-hmm.
In gymnastics, you get the floor, you finish, the next person goes.
Yeah,
The
skating
same
as well.
in skating, the same in freestyle diving, the shooting, football. We're going against it. There is no other sport where two people, if they had two skateboarders there and they go, you go trick, I go trick, you go trick, I go trick, that would be like breaking.
Mm-hmm.
They do this in tricking, but tricking isn't professional yet. So
Yeah,
tricking, if you know tricking, so I'm talking about professional sports. There is no professional sport where it's you go, I go, you go, I go, you go, judges. Like this doesn't happen. And if we acknowledge this doesn't happen, then we acknowledge that like, yo, we got to build something to make
yeah,
this make sense to people. We
yeah.
can't copy other sports because no other sport is like us.
Find the format. Yeah, that's true.
You know,
Yeah, that's what we're
this is a
discussing. So maybe people tune in and have better ideas or more ideas or more
if you
interesting
have
stuff.
ideas, anyone that's tuned in, put them in the comments or DM or whatever, because I think it's like it needs to be put out there. That's one reason why I asked about feedback, because in reality, I think with the BBC one, everyone was like, "What the hell?" But it was like, "Where do you send the feedback?" Do you
ESPN,
know what
right?
I mean?
The ESPN one? Was it on ESPN? The
No,
Sunday one?
the Olympic one in Paris.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
The one
Yeah,
with
yeah.
the two commentators are from the BBC. That's what I got told. Maybe they weren't. I got told. Don't know. But the
Yeah.
two commentators that were calling people the wrong name, saying you're
Yeah,
entering the
yeah.
cipher.
Entering
You're
the
like, where do you send this feedback?
yeah.
Like, where do we tell people that that was completely and utterly just trash? ESPN. I haven't listened to that. I've listened to that a bit, but it's a bit. To be honest, it's a bit too docile for me. There's no
Okay.
excitement.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
There's no. And that actually, let's get onto that real quick. We've been going an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Let's get onto that, and then we can see if we finish these questions and be done. Excitement, like breaking is exciting, like exciting. I put up that
It's amazing. It's not even exciting. It's amazing. It's
it's
breathtaking. Like
amazing. It's
people,
superhuman, bro.
I
It's
know.
fucking
Just
superhuman,
ask the people like stand on their head on the street. They'll say no. And people are like, yeah, what move should I do next?
bro. It's like so you're like, why? I don't know. You've commentated. I haven't heard you commentate. But
Yeah.
when you hear these other commentators, why do you think that? I think it's their personalities anyway. I just look at them and go, oh, your personality is not like that. We need someone
Oh
with a
yeah.
hype personality,
True. Yeah. Like the one
you
I
know?
said before. I said you have to be a fan as well and really love this, and you have to be this one of those guys who still claps in the back when someone does an air flip to air chin, like because the crowd is as well dying a little bit at the moment. But you have to have the energy, and you have to
Honestly,
understand
I ban
also.
commentate.
And you have to understand also what your voice can do. You know, now for me it's a little bit
Mm.
more easy because I do voice acting for a living as well. So I know
Yeah.
how I can use my voice and tone and such a little, but also I'm just a fan, you know. And when I see you're doing a crazy combination, or I don't know, like, or Victor having the most amazing round, it's so solid. It's just like I'm in front of the microphone, and like, pah, like wow, like how can I describe this now? I just want to let people know. So yeah, you have to have a little bit of excitement because if not, and if you don't even can put off the um the commentary, then people will just shut it off. I had some live stream where I was like, nah, I'm not gonna watch this. I can't put it up. It's like,
I've watched battles in silence because you can't turn off the commentating. So I've just turned off the sound. I've literally been
no,
like, well, I can't hear the music. This commentating is not for me. And I've watched
mm,
it in silence. Do you know
I
how
can't
Finnish?
do that. I need to have the music, and then I just put it off, and I hope that I see like some Instagram stories or whatever from the round, you know?
But you, I just laugh at like, do you know how like docile? I want to say docile, so I don't want to make it seem that I'm putting people down. How flat it must be that I'd rather watch a battle in silence than listen to.
Yeah, yeah. So it's very important. The tone, the voice. It's not important if you have a deep voice or just like let me hear this excitement from your voice, you know, because you should be just excited as a spectator who has never seen this before. But then you're there, like you're there with your best friend at the jam, and you're
Yeah.
so excited to see the people and try to explain it to him, but let him watch too. And yeah, it's just for me, it's a very important factor. And if you
And what
just
do you
hear
think
something,
about? Because my suggestion that I suggested one time is how we pick commentators, and I think we should be picking hosts. I don't think, you know what I mean? I think the first people on that list should be hosts. Why? Because they're already used to basically commentating battles. That's what they're doing. They've got the voice for it. They've got they're used to being on a mic and having to give you what's happening, and they're excitable. Imagine Max commentating.
who?
Max.
Oh yeah, I mean
Imagine
he's
him
great.
commentating, or Ivan,
Yeah, I even find it funny.
or Amjad.
I even would even do like the echo. That was great. That was great.
It's exactly. And Amjad's already got his phrases. Losing the hat, losing the points. People, I guarantee the public would know that after hearing Amjad for a year. They'd be like, losing the hat, losing the points. They'd be like, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But that would be again to make a celebrity commentary. You know, we're not there yet. That we have the commentators at the moment to stand out to that point where people tune in and also want to see the commentary because
But
most of the
again,
people.
wait. But let's go back. One thing I never say is we're not there yet. Bro, it's 2023. We're fucking on the biggest stage in the world. We're there. We are there.
Yeah, but I can't mention you one commentator. I would say I want to hear him every single time. I haven't
But
like
the
that's
only
my
reason
personal
is,
opinion.
because we haven't tried those people.
Yeah, true. Yeah,
Because if I said, mention me a host you want to hear.
me.
If I said, mention me a host you want to hear.
I would like to try Nemesis.
You see? Now
Yeah.
mention me a DJ you like.
Oh, as far as DJ, I think Flag would be great.
You see how quick you went to that.
Yeah.
But in the end, that's because you hear hosts all the time. The
Hmm.
DJ's always there. With the commentators, it's like, no offense, sometimes you're like, why did you pick this person? Why are they
Oh, of
commentating?
course. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But now, if you had commentators there that were, for me, that's why I say you should have started with the host. I guarantee you'd have gone, oh yeah, I like Swifty, or I like Amjad, or Ivan's crazy, I like him on the.
Hmm.
So it's like when you're not there yet, it's usually because no one's stuck out yet. And if no one's stuck out, it's because, no offense, it's like, well, you need to try some different people. Or
Yeah,
the
yeah,
people
for
doing
sure.
it need to try and change their personality. But we've had commentating and breaking. Remember, it started in Red Bull
Yeah,
like years ago.
yeah. 2011, no, or 13, something like that was the first year.
Yeah,
I think
that's
Rock
10
tried
years,
already.
bro. So
When
if in
Rock,
10
yeah.
years no one stuck out, you might be picking the wrong commentators. And
Yeah,
when
it
I
was
say the
just
wrong
my.
commentators, I don't mean people who can't commentate. I just mean people who aren't trying to stick out as commentators. And you've got to want to stick out.
It was just my personal taste. So maybe all those companies or competition have their voice or whatever. That's you know
Nah,
is
let's
there.
be
But
honest, bro. No one stuck out. No one stuck out. If
for
there's
me,
someone right
none.
now said, pick me a commentator that you think is dope and should commentate the Olympics from our scene, I'd pick a host. I wouldn't pick anyone that's been commentating.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah.
I wouldn't. I'd pick a host. I'd say I'd rather hear a host try it. And not to say that these commentators are bad, it's just because you don't stick out to me. Like there's nothing that you're saying that sticks out, but I can hear hosts. That's why I say Amjad. And everyone knows losing the hat, losing the points, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That's why I say Ivan. because everyone knows he's rhyming and he's echoing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's why I say Swifty, because everyone knows that that big dude with his big voice, when do you know what I mean? So, and commentating is simply about a voice that you hear in your head. If I say to there's a meme with that UFC picture, and the meme says everyone can hear this picture,
Oh
and
yeah,
that's
yeah. True.
because everyone knows those commentators' voices. So if
True.
in our scene, if commentating is about knowing a voice, and in our scene, if I say to you, "What's a voice?" and the voice you say is a host, then I'm like, well, maybe those should be the ones commentating, right?
Yeah.
Those are the voices we hear. Those are the people that we understand. Those are the Maxes and the Pablos and the all these people.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah, that's
yeah,
nice.
it's like
That's up to
not
the
saying you shouldn't do it, but I'm just saying I'd
no,
pick
no,
host first.
no, no, no. That's not how I took it. But yeah, there's some. It's not up to me. I was never in a position to put someone, except last year where I asked the company how they want to have it and who, because I already thought about people who I
Yeah.
would vibe with at the same time. Because I would have stuck some stranger and never talked to him. It would be a little bit weird, you know. So I was suggesting three names and I took one of them and it was turned out perfect to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, what will happen? Happy New Year, Dilo. What happened? Dilo's another host. He's got some things that he says. He put him on the mic, bruv.
Let's go.
It's gonna be a different day for you. But now I think, yeah, I mean, that's what I think. It's like it's hard because we know on the scene. It's like, who do you go to for this? Like in reality, if it's Red Bull, who do you go to? If it's WDSF, who do you go to? People will say, oh, it's this person, but you're like, yeah, but who really picks? Where
Mhm.
can we send feedback?
Yeah,
How
yeah,
do we the hardest thing in the scene is how do we improve this? Not
hmm,
fix, because I don't think there's anything, nothing is broken. How do we improve on this? And how do we get it to a level where we can be proud of it?
yeah,
Because right now I'm kind of shook about the Olympics. Not
yeah,
for the
yeah,
breaking.
yeah,
The
yeah.
breakers are going to do what they do. I just think watching it,
Yeah,
you're going to be amazed at the breaking. But if I'm watching it at home, unless someone wants to bring me out for something, if I'm watching it at home, I'm probably and the commentating's not good. I'm gonna put it on silent, and
yeah.
that's me. And if
Turn it
it's
off.
someone who's not in the scene, they're gonna watch it. They'll go, "Oh, that was amazing," but they're not gonna care about the music because they're not gonna hear it. And then we're gonna turn around and go, Why is it that the culture never gets shown?" And it's like, "Cause yo, I tuned into the Olympics and all I could hear was two people talking."
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, we still have some time and so many events left. I think for this year, especially. I mean, we'll just continue, right? And then we will figure out who's the voice.
So we message Bojan and say we want to commentate.
We can do that, or just
Well,
I
I'll
don't know.
do that.
Maybe the people will listen to this because we just opened the discussion. I mean, you already ordered sometimes on Facebook, but now we have like you had me as a commentator who actually did it 4 times in a row, and then
Yeah.
you as a journalist, and now we
That knows all the info and is the
exactly.
man with the words. People now got the words, bro.
Yeah, as I said earlier, like words is power, and you should be adequate. How is the English
What's
word for
that?
that? Adequate? Is that the word in English?
Eloquent.
Yeah,
Eloquent.
eloquent. Yeah, with your words, because that's very useful. And if you have some excitement in there and the knowledge, it should be a great commentator.
Even if I'm sitting there just giving the like helping with the script stuff, technically I'm like, I'd love to try. But in
Of course.
reality, I'd be like, yo, let's help you with the script and how you can say this and how we can cut it down.
Yeah,
And you
yeah,
know
yeah.
what? You should be excited about wanting to try those things. Let's put up a video and commentate it and see how we can work this. Do you know what I mean? And if you're
Yeah.
excited, like, yeah, I'd love to do that. I'd love to become better at this. Then I'm like,
Oh,
cool,
for sure. Yeah,
you do
I
it.
would even love to see like if it really makes through the Olympics and it's become something. I would love to be the guy who is like the commentator for the German
I'd
area
love to
of
be
breaking,
there.
right? You know, so
Yeah, could
like
you
ask
imagine?
me every 3 minutes, every 3 months, ask me to do it, and I'm gonna do it. You know, even every month. I don't even care. I would love to do to because I see a potential career in that too. You know, so that's why I'm taking it also very serious with my notes and stuff.
Yeah.
Easily
Now
said.
that is the career, and if you watch most sports, a lot of sports people go into the commentating broadcast journalism side
Yeah,
afterwards
yeah,
because they coach or they go in the commentating booth, and you
exactly.
see that in a
Yeah,
lot of sports. And in breaking, there's not really many options once you stop breaking.
yeah,
There's just
yeah.
not. You
But
you
still,
host you put on an event, you DJ, you try and host, or you become a photographer or a videographer. Even writing, most people ain't doing it, and it's hard because there's not much. There's Red Bull and that's it.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
true, true.
so there's not many options. But if we did get the actual media side going like that, commentating, interviewing, being the people that not just does it, but you can, you're the commentator. Oh man, he's the guy helping bring with the scripts and the handbook though. Then suddenly it opens up all these jobs, and then you're like, oh yeah, I'm not breaking anymore, but I'm an interviewer,
Yeah,
or
yeah, yeah, yeah.
you know,
Yeah, it happens
so
in
yeah,
soccer as well. People bring the old national coaches to do commentary or something else. Be an expert after the show. It's been ridiculous
yeah,
sometimes how
and
people can talk about soccer all the
analysis,
time.
analysis.
Yeah, analysis. Yeah.
Maybe we do a talk on that next because that's the one thing that in breaking that Profile One does it again. He does. I've seen him do it,
Hmm.
but no one other than that I don't see do true analysis of it. Like the Flea Rock Sugar Kicks battle. No one's done a true like again. Profile might have. I know he does. So I'm not saying no one. But apart from that, I don't know anyone else that's truly done an analysis of that battle, like
Hmm.
really, and
Yeah.
broken it down, even to not even who won, just what everyone was doing and the energy and and all this.
Yeah. There's huge potential for that, for sure, in the
But
future. But yeah, that's for
all
something,
right,
for someone else, someone and someone else.
it's all coming.
Right. Yeah.
Let me see
For
these
sure.
questions real quick. If we went through them, 2%. I got them here. Best commentators in your opinion so far. Do you want to pick someone? I'm like, nah.
I mean, honestly, I just go with Silverback, but it was a little bit different than because Silverback is so outstanding. But I say go like Pro for One. I loved how he was nerding out. It was so beautiful to me. Other than that, it was not comparable with the commentating that we had so far since Silverback, to be honest. So
Nah,
I would
but
go with
I
him.
think the same. And also, I can't remember who. But I remember the B girls. Both. I think there was three. The B girls. I was really impressed with them, but there was one of them that really stuck out. I should have watched it, but there was
Silverback.
one of the B girls there that really stuck out for me as a really good commentator, and just the way she. And you know what it is. And if you watch it, it's they're interviewing logistics, and it's the main. There's two of them, but it's the one that
Mm,
there's the main one. One of them really asked her some good questions, and
yeah,
whoever that B girl was, I'm gonna look out.
I forgot
She
about the
for me
name.
stuck out. She was really good.
Yeah, but that's I wouldn't say in my favorite. But if I have to choose, I would go back to Silverback, where they did it the best in my opinion as well, and I would pick Profo because it was just
You
so.
got Pro, I got the B
Yeah.
girl. I need to find out her name, who she was.
Yeah.
But yeah. And then what's your focus commentating entertainment? I think information and entertainment, I think they go together.
Yeah,
I
they
think
have
they
to
go together.
for now. And if everybody knows about breaking, I just go with entertainment in the well, like
Like it,
more
innit, bro?
entertainment.
And then how do you get your sources to shed how do you get your sources to shed light on the crews of the contestants?
The crews for and the one-on-ones, right?
Is that the crews of the contestants? I think they mean like yeah, I should have asked. But if I'm saying what I think it means, I think it's just like I think he's asking how do you like get the information to talk about the crews of the people battling. So
Yeah.
okay,
So
India's in like two crews, Hustle Kids and uh
um,
it's not Styles Confidential, no. But either way, she's in Hustle Kids now as
yeah,
well.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
How do you maybe get the sources to talk about that? I mean, I can say because I'm the one that does the research. In the
yeah, yeah.
end,
I know, but this is where I
we
had to.
we we interview them. Yeah, we interview them. We ask them. And we've got a list of questions that we ask them for a profile and a bio. They
Yeah,
answer all the questions. It's the basic standard stuff. If people don't know, it says like, where were you born? Uh, are you still living in the same country or is it a different country? What crew are you in? How long have you been breaking? Why did you start breaking? Standard.
hmm,
Even ask them about their style. Do they have signature moves? What they won, what they're proud of. So
yeah.
standard.
As a commentator, you just if the competitor walks up, you mention of course the name, then the name of the crew, and if it's someone like a Flea Rock from Skill Methods, you might have some few words left for the group itself, Skill Methods. But it's all like how you want to balance that out because you don't want to waste too much time on just talking about the crew because Flea Rock is standing there in the one-on-one. If it would be Silverback, it's a little bit different because then you probably have a real crew there and you can talk about their achievements, but as a group, and moment like at the moment it's all solo at the moment, so I don't waste too much time on mentioning. Well, I mentioned the crews, but not too much about the history or whatever. So just
Yeah, I
when you
get
get
that.
up,
It's the
yeah,
same in like say MMA where you might mention their gym, but you're not going to
Yeah.
talk about the history of their gym. But you'll
Mm.
mention their coach and their gym, you know.
The sponsor maybe, and then that's it. Yeah.
And then if they do a crew battle, then you'll go into the history
Of
because it's a
course.
crew
Yeah.
battle now.
Yeah, that would be
I
interesting.
get you. I get you. All right, what was that? Freaking hour, 45 minutes, bro.
Yeah.
Racking it up, racking it
Working
up.
on it.
But yeah, I think if we keep pushing, I might actually message Bojan and ask him about the commentating.
Yeah, you should watch this whole thing maybe, or like whatever. I don't know if you can say this, but
Yeah, it should save. I hope it saves. When you
yeah.
click, it should save. I tested it
Okay.
before,
Okay.
so we're gonna see. But it's over an hour. But it said that I think Instagram changed because before it would cut you off for an hour. This one didn't cut off. It used to give you a
Hmm.
countdown timer.
I see. I see.
So
Well,
it
and
should
then
save.
we just started discussion, and whatever happens happens, you know. But we are
Nah,
both
but I don't
very.
believe in whatever happens, happens. You got to make it happen.
I know, but like we just talked about it, now people will listen to it and have like advice or approaches or want to do it themselves or better, you know. So
Yeah, yeah.
we'll see.
Nah, the discussion's open. It's all there. But
That's what I'm saying.
I'm a fan in pushing it, bro. Because if you don't, this the thing I think is a big downfall on the scene is people love to discuss everything and then they never change it.
That's
They
true.
don't. They're like, and then and then you go, but why did Kevin and Storm change judging? Because they wrote a judge's handbook. Like
Yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah.
the action they took. They actually took an action. If you don't take an action, it's just a discussion and nothing needs to change. So it's
Exactly.
like you have to take an action. But the action is the discussion, and then I
Mm.
might message Bojan and ask him. I'm gonna ask him just to see,
It
and
starts
then
from
yeah,
here. Yeah,
we'll go from there.
it starts from here. Okay, brother. So it was good talking to you. I didn't expect it to be that long, but it is something that we have to discuss and to talk about. So I was very honored that you asked me as well. So yeah,
Yeah, bro.
let's
Good
put it out there.
discussion, man. Keep that commentating up. Send
Yeah,
me if you
sure.
got the link with the German one. I don't understand German. Send it to me there.
I will send it to you. Okay.
And
Awesome.
yeah, bro. Let's keep it up. All
Yeah.
right, bro.
Talk to you soon. Bye
Peace.
bye. Peace, everybody.
Later to everyone that tuned in. Peace out.